The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Thursday, October 30th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 69. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. Today we continue our preparation for Arizona versus Dallas. That'll happen on Monday night. Today we're going to focus in on the Arizona defense against the Cowboys offense. But today I wanted to... What's wrong? Why are you laughing?
My man here to my left.
Oh, him in this chair? Yeah.
He cannot get comfortable in this chair.
It must be the carpet or something, man. Something going on. And then Bean trying to fit me in the box.
I laugh every time. I laugh every time I go from being far left to like, oh,
well, you know what it is.
I come back.
He's moving around,
Yeah.
and Bean's like, "What?"
Wait,
he's trying to get the
stop,
camera,
stop.
trying to get the camera, trying to get the camera.
Well, because I'm trying to follow the rules and do the turn around and look at the camera thing.
We'll settle in about 3
because you
minutes
have
in.
Nick's show before ours, and that's a
Facts.
one-man show, and then we jump in here, 4 people. He got to readjust all the cameras.
And we just scream at each other for an hour, huh? That's what we do.
Basically.
Hoogity, 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 hoogity. Yeah.
out
Oogity.
of battery.
Yeah.
Oogity.
Carrying on and such.
Yeah, I got you.
Hootin' and
I
hollering.
like when you guys say the word fuss.
Huh?
When you're fussing. When you're fussing. We're fussing at each other.
Fussing and carrying on, yeah.
Yeah, fussing. I've never heard that.
You're a Southern guy. You never heard fussing?
Even I've heard of
I grew
fussing.
You heard of fussing, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Dallas, bro.
Have you heard of,
I've never.
Dallas
I know
is
it.
country?
No, it's never. I've
Putting
never
up a fuss? Have you heard that putting up a fuss?
No, I've never heard the word fuss. No.
Man,
What are
I'm
you
kidding,
fussing
Bryan.
about?
Yeah,
fussing at me.
fussing is hilarious. I love it.
It's not fussing.
Should be used more.
Fussing.
Fuss.
Fussing.
What's your favorite word, Brian? Like, dirty macking, hootin' hollering, rat gambler. What's your favorite?
I don't know, man.
Shucks. I say shucks sometimes.
Working with you.
I ain't
for the
heard
last 2
shucks since I was a kid.
Pardon me. I said, well, you weren't here. Okay, so.
Dirty Mackin is pretty funny. When I learned that from you, I didn't know what that was all about.
Cowboys break where dreams come true.
Yeah. Teaching the world. All right, let's talk about
America's
Trayvon Diggs.
future. Yeah.
Let's talk about Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
We did not talk about him earlier in the week, but Jerry had some comments, and I thought they were interesting. And I want to talk a little bit about the cornerback position, but I want to start first with Trayvon Diggs. Here was a quote from Jerry. He said, "Diggs' biggest problem is he's injured, and it's not the same knee that he's been doing his rehab with. So that's his #1 challenge. Unfortunately, he's got a handful of challenges here that are physically related, and that's why he has the status he's got today." What do we know, I guess, at this point about that knee injury? Not the one that was the problem last year, but this other knee that Jerry is pointing to that's a big part, I guess, reason why he is not playing right now.
You're going to look at me for this, aren't you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of y'all think that this is made up? Because one time Jerry was like, I just don't think he's in shape enough to play football. Like, So I'm just wondering, are we looking for
I you know what, I've kind of went out of sight, out of mind on this one.
He ain't here.
You know,
Yeah.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
He ain't here?
No, but don't say he's not hurt.
No, he's
No, he said
not
he's not here. He said he's not here.
Yeah, okay.
That's my
I'm sorry.
bad.
My bad.
He isn't here. No.
My 61-year-old ears heard like,
I was.
Yeah.
As my Nash, I gotta get up. He is not here, Brian.
yeah.
So I think the right thing for the Cowboys to do is to
Yeah.
move forward as if he's not.
I'm going to be real honest with everybody that I love on this table here. I don't have an answer for you there.
All right.
I don't.
And by the way,
I really don't. And I want to. I've kind of like in my mind, I'm trying to focus on the guys that are here, and I know we have to do a show, and it's important. I did hear that it was the other knee. I can confirm that, and I don't think he's lying about that. I shouldn't use the word lie. I don't think he's
telling the story.
I don't think he's telling a story on that. Lying's a strong word.
That's enough.
But I do know that there's an opposite knee. I just now learning about the surgery stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm right now. So that's all kind of news to me, but I've kind of in my mind said, okay, I've got to focus on some other things here. But I'll try and run that down.
Well,
My
focusing
apologies.
on no, that's all good. But focusing because here's the deal. I think you're in the same boat as most everybody. I think everybody's kind of looking around, scratching their heads, like, man, this all just seems like. It just seems weird. It just seems like nobody
There's a lot
really
of weird
knows
with this
what's
story.
going on.
There's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
just-
of weird.
No one really knows. But moving on to focusing on what's here. When you look at the cornerbacks they have available.
Since we're teaching words and saying,
Please.
gato encerrado.
Cat in
I was saying gato is cat, right?
Cat.
Gato?
Yes,
cat in the hat.
Cat in the Hat.
gato encerrado. Yeah, like a
Serrano?
trapped cat.
Cat in the corner. Like a cat trapped in the corner.
Like, something suspicious going on here. The
Is
cat
that,
is
is
trapped.
that like a that's like a little
gato
term?
encerrado. That's a
like
thing.
a clever, tricky something. Something
like
fishy,
something's
yeah.
going on.
Something going on.
Got it.
See, I know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't.
Y'all be tripping, man.
No, you don't.
I can't speak it and understand it when they talking fast, but I know vocabulary. Amber, tell them I know vocabulary.
You didn't even
something
know what
triggered been-
Dominican Republic was.
I
so-
sure didn't. I ain't crazy. I sure didn't. But something going on with this. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot
That's how I
going
know
on.
it's real.
There's a lot going on here.
But in
I
all
said this off air one time.
In
I
all-
said this off air one time. When people leave you on red, it's some serious stuff though. Everybody I ask about it, I get left on red about it. So that made me feel like it ain't my daggone business. So I just fall back like it don't exist.
It just I think the problem is, and it's not even a problem, but I think the reason why this happened is because of the nature with which he first was out.
Sure.
I think there was just this report that came out. I mean, the injury report that came out right before a game. All of a sudden, he can't play because of a concussion that was sustained at his home. That just naturally is going to bring suspicion. Like, what? Huh? What happened? And when there was no, okay, here's what happened. So then it's left, and this is my biggest problem with sports media. If you don't give a reason, sports media will find a reason for you. And so then it just starts kind of going from there. Hey, maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. And then he ends up on IR. So I think that's kind of just the whole circumstance around it has created this cloud.
Now
of
it's his knees
suspicion.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, so it's just created this cloud of suspicion that who knows what's really happened because
Well, with
nobody's
different
really
things-
there is no real report that says this is definitively what happened and what the issue
There are a
is.
lot of times that if something happens, we'll hear about it. We'll
Yeah.
hear about it in the building and hear talks about it. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to bring it on the show and talk about it. You know, you choose how you want to play your cards in that regards with some of the things that you want to be careful with. But this is one of those things that I've literally have heard zero thing about it. Like I have, other than he was placed on IR, that's all I've heard about this whole situation, which is, it's so weird.
We'll be doing a documentary on it in 3 years, I would
There
assume.
you go.
Can I be
I don't think you will do a documentary about this one.
No, we'll
I
see.
don't think.
We've already done a Trayvon Diggs documentary.
Yeah, I don't think you'll do a documentary on this one.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be cute to the public, you don't think?
I don't think so.
Hey,
I think it's over.
We've told some not so cute stories before.
I think it's.
over.
just.
Anytime somebody get hurt at their house,
Hey, I'm not speculating on any
I'll
of that
speculate.
I don't know, but
Fire me.
I don't think that's fair ever
fair. Yeah.
to just start throwing stuff out there because people listen to us and then they take it and before you know it they're running with it
My
and they're
personal-
saying it is true.
Yeah. So, look, this ain't true, y'all. Yeah, look, this ain't true.
I don't believe in that.
But it ain't true.
No, I don't think we should do that. Now, here's what I did want to talk about, though. I understand, obviously, Trayvon's over here. Like, let's just put him over here for now.
Yeah.
Based on the cornerbacks they still have available to them,
Yeah.
what do you think is the best group? Like, what's the best threesome you can put out there? Because we've seen some different groupings that they've put out there. They had Trequezy playing this last week quite a bit. What do you think is the best grouping that they could put out there right now, the guys that are available?
Our honest answer is there's no way to know. There's no clue for us to possibly know because as we're going throughout the season, changes are being made. And 1 week we'll think that we're doing a whole bunch of man stuff. The very next week you run man 3 times in the first 3 quarters or so. So I think you have to settle down. I think Flus has to settle down and figure out what this thing really is and who's going to be out there, and then we can kind of figure it out. I said, last week or whenever I said it, that the worst thing that happened to us as people that kind of break this thing down was at camp we didn't see much from Carson, and Revel was just injured, so we don't know who they are. And do you just kind of throw them out there now to see if they can play? Do you throw them in water in that kind of way? Who do you take off the field to throw them in that water? Do you just rotate at corner until you figure it out? We just have no idea what's happening or what's going on. Bryan Bryan got an answer.
I'm trying.
We don't know.
Yeah, but to me, listen, I understand where the coaches are right here. I understand that they haven't seen Carson practice a whole lot.
Yeah.
I get it. They haven't seen You know, they haven't seen we haven't seen Butler practice all that much.
I keep forgetting about Butler.
Butler and Butler's ready to go. It's just Butler's ready to go. If they want to put Butler out there, they can find a way to get him onto the active roster, but then it has to mean that they have to take somebody off. So to me, I mean, I look at this situation. I think I'm interested in what Zion Childress can do. And I say this at Zion Childress, and what we've seen him do is same how he's played as some of the nickel stuff. You know, that's a bigger guy. We've seen a guy that tackles. We've seen a guy that kind of plays inside. Maybe he's got some safety elements to his game too. You know, I just feel like that maybe I don't know the combination. I just know I'm interested in trying some different guys. I'm interested in trying to, okay, I'm gonna get Butler on the active roster. I'm gonna make a move. Somebody's gonna have to go, but I'm bringing Butler in. I'm gonna try Carson. I'm going to see if Childress can play a little bit. I'm going to elevate him off the practice squad and see, you know, and maybe you find the number one piece you need to keep in place is Bland.
Right.
Keep Bland in place and now attack it from the aspect of like, I'm taking Elam off. I'm taking Stewart out. I'm taking Bridges out. I'm taking these guys out, and I'm just going to throw a different combination at it and see if that works. And if it's not better, then okay, well then what about this combination? You know, then hopefully by the time, you know, you could have a situation where, you know, Revel will be back in the mix. As far as I know that, you know, it doesn't look really pretty right now, but I don't think you could sit there and just keep going with the same group. I just don't.
Bryan, I asked this a couple of weeks ago. Do you think Carson is going to be more of an inside guy or like an outside guy at corner? Caelen Carson.
I think they're probably going to play him on the outside. I think they play him on the outside. I mean, but they could sure try him inside, but
because not all these guys,
but
all you got is Bland and Reddy that's playing nickel, and
right.
Reddy playing safety a little bit now,
right?
So you kind of running low over there. I mean, boy, Jordan Lewis would be nice right now, but those guys are gone.
Yeah,
don't they need help in the middle somewhere?
I think they do, but like I said, I worry about you're trying to get Carson confident. If you play him at nickel, is he going to get beat up having to cover the field the way he has? And do you maybe give him a path back of like, okay, we're going to play on the outside and let you work that way instead of playing the nickel and having to carry the whole field? You know, I just worry, I worry about his confidence right now. But like I say, with Butler, I think you can throw Butler out there. I think Butler's had success. I think Butler's a confident football player. I do question how much confidence, though, Carson has right now.
I'm just so eager to know what the changes that Brian Schottenheimer hinted at, the changes that would be happening after the bye week. Because as we talk about it, and this, I hate saying this because I don't want to dismiss the players that are playing and their abilities and all that. I don't want to be disrespectful. But in my head, hearing this, I'm just like, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it get? Yeah. This sucks. Like to think about it and think of like the guys that you did see talent at one point, but it just, regardless, under this scheme, it doesn't seem that they are able to even shine. Because again, with Carson, I'm still holding hope to him because I know what I saw initially. And then we talked about his confidence and all of that. I think that after a year, maybe that comes back. But even then, it just doesn't seem that this is a good setup for even a guy like him to come in and find some success.
Well, but that does bring up the question. When you guys go back to look at Caelen Carson's college tape, was he more of a zone corner, more of a man corner? Like, what did he do well in college? And does maybe that fit better with what Flus is trying to do than maybe some of the guys that have been playing?
Carson was one of those guys where his previous years was much better than his last year, and they let him play a bunch of man early, but he was a man dude playing zone stuff. You can even say the same thing about Revel. He's much more of a man guy, but that last year that he was active, it was a mixture of zone match stuff. And match is basically zone till it's not, and then it's man.
Yeah.
But I think all these guys would benefit, which this makes it weird, and it makes a great point by Ambar. All these dudes would benefit if they could just walk up and line up on somebody and play man. I don't think 12-yard cushion benefits anybody in this room right now. Maybe Reddy in the nickel, how he does things a little differently. But every single body else is much better walked up and man on man with everybody. But I don't think Flus wants to do that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that.
Appreciate you, Bryan.
Yeah, this I thought when he was initially drafted, I'm like, man, this is a competitive guy. This is a guy that gets after you. This is a guy that knows
ball skills,
everything about him. And then you started to see like there were some things in camp initially. And I remember a game, and I can't remember if it was the Rams. It was a preseason game, Rams-Raiders. It was an early game, and they went after him the first play, and it was kind of a big play. And then the next 6 times they went after him, they didn't get a completion. That's the guy I kind of remember from Wake Forest. Mm-hmm. That's the guy that I was like, oh, okay, this guy can. This guy can do this. This guy can play. This guy's got that ability to, like, if something bad happens, to be able to push it aside and go play. But man, like when he had to play in regular season game, his confidence got wrecked. And you just don't know where he's at. I mean, it's been a long time since he's lined up and played. That's the thing that makes me a little nervous. But I've also seen some guys out there that have not playing at a very high level. This kid, at one time in my life, I did see him play at a high level. So I'm interested to see if that's the case.
All right, we're going to take our first break. Come back. We'll dive into the Arizona defense versus the Dallas offense. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
I ain't get my notes ready.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. The segment's brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, let's talk about the Arizona defense. Bryan, what you got?
Real quick, if I could, I went back and looked at my Caelen Carson notes. We were talking about him. Just real quick, if I could. He played as a field corner. So he played, we've talked about this before, boundary corner and field corner. So field corner would be a guy that carries, he's opposite of, like when we talk with if the ball's on the right hash, that would be the boundary side. He has the opposite side.
The large side of the field.
He has the large side of the field. I saw the quick feet. I saw he's able to stay connected with the receiver, the fluid hips, ability to turn, seeing routes, develop, and then able to trigger on the ball. Especially good when it comes to reading screens in those in-breaking routes. I kind of saw a guy that can carry routes inside too. And, there was some times where maybe his length. I thought his length and his demeanor were very good for the position. And I go, that's just kind of a Cliff Notes version of what I saw with this guy. Mm-hmm. But I was thought that one of the lines I said was very competitive and fiery in the way he plays. Mm. That's the guy they need out there right now.
Yeah.
That they need somebody out there that is got that kind of demeanor to go out there and play and Voch asked about, or Derek asked about, would you play him inside or outside? Well, the fact he's a field corner, that just tells you that he can. The thing I worry about though is his confidence. I said it earlier. So that's what the notes were from my scouting notes of Caelen Carson. Okay. When you start to talk about this defense, Voch, this defense is interesting in a couple of different ways. It's another one of those odd front defenses that you play with 3 down linemen. I think there's some things that they try and do to you coverage-wise to maybe mix you up, play a lot of cover 4. And for Jerry Madelon, here's what I'm going to do. Jerry, I'm going to explain it to you. Cover 4 is you take quarters of the field is what you want to do. So if you see a lot of cover 4, that means that they're trying to keep everything really in front of them. So you get your 2 corners, your 2 safeties. Everything is, just think of quarters of the field. That's how they play.
4 guys deep.
4 guys deep. So how do you attack this stuff? How do you attack this? There's pockets where you could do even the underneath because you got the linebackers. You got a linebacker that takes the middle, and you got the 2 outside linebackers that kind of play a little bit wider. But there's pockets when you've got corners and safeties going deep, and then you've got that line that underneath to play the short stuff. There's kind of those intermediate spaces and stuff like that. So Dallas could probably attack there. Teams have done a good job against Arizona kind of attacking that areas, but they've also, though, what the problems that teams have had when you play cover 4 is double moves. So all of a sudden you get guys playing at a little bit of depth, and all of a sudden it's the out, bite, now up, and then you've got plays down the field. So the things that Dallas can do with their they could do stuff with their tight end in that intermediate. They can run the in-breaking routes to kind of handle that. We could also see some vertical routes off some double moves, if you get the time. But that's the thing with Arizona. I'm sure Voch is about to tell you. You're going to see some pass rush here from Arizona with a couple of different guys that we're very, very familiar with.
Yeah, Brian, last week the Broncos kind of rolled out their guys, and their guys are their guys. They lined up odd front, 3 guys, and their 2 linebackers to the outside, and they didn't really move those dudes around too much. What the Cardinals do is they'll put a whole bunch of different people in there. So they got 8 rushers, and they kind of rotate them all, and they'll change up the front. So they're not just in a 3-4. They'll line up in a 2 guys in the middle, 2 linebackers standing on the outside, and 1 Mike. Sometimes they'll load up the middle B gaps, load up the A's, and then they'll put 2 rushers here. Sometimes it look real goofy where they have 1 small dude just lined up over the center, 2 guys wide, and nobody really behind them. So I think it's interesting. You can kind of chess game it up. We've seen the Cowboys run on 3rd down, like 3rd and long, like just to do it, just to see what happens. I think if Arizona rolls out here trying to get pretty, trying to get cute and lovely with maybe somebody small, like Dante Sills.
Yeah.
Right? He about 290 or something like that. But he plays on the interior for the most part. I've seen plays where he's like just a lone A-gap player, 2 outside guys, and 1 linebacker. If I'm the Cowboys, it's 3rd and 8, I'm just going to run at that. And whatever I get, I'll just go for it on 4th and 3 because I don't want to punt.
You might get 8.
You might get 8. You might get you know what I'm saying? You just never know what's going to happen. But all of their pass, there's some big guys in the middle that we should be aware of. Dalvin Tomlinson, big character, always been
old
a
New York Giant guy,
But he's not really going to pass rush you very much. So in pass rushing downs, he's leaving. Calais Campbell has sacks, but he's in there on run downs for the most part.
It's not like they got the guys that 5 years ago, 10 years ago would have been like, they got a big time defensive line.
They would have, for sure. But
like they got Calais Campbell seemed like he been in the NFL for
he about 21 years in, I believe, honestly. But lucky for the
and
for
still
the
can
Cowboys,
play though. By the way,
he still can play.
He can still play.
He got like 3 sacks or something, so he'll be a top sack guy for us. Yeah. But as far as offensive line goes, I think as long as they're not slanting fronts, stunting, and things of that nature, like these speedy slant guys, I think it's hard to just say, I'm just going to bull rush the Cowboys and win. And we just going to knock on some wood somewhere. If this is a game where BB can play, I feel real good about the interior, but there are going to be questions about the outside. I don't think Tyler Guyton did a horrible job last week. And Tyler Guyton versus Benito's a dude. You know what I
He's a
mean? Benito's a guy, you know, and Tyler Guyton particularly struggles against guys. Benito, Brian Burns, guys like that. But if we just talking about regular, just good dudes, I feel good about those matchups. Terrence Steele, we probably got to have a longer conversation about, but that's where we're gonna get hit there. So their pass rushers, Barron Browning, Josh Sweat, they're more of the quicker guys, bendier guys, but they can rush power guys. Jordan Birch, who was a 3-tech in college, played at Oregon. Right. They stand him up and rush him on the edge, but he is very powerful and he can move a little bit, but he's a backup. And Zaven Collins, first round pick, former first round pick, he was supposed to be like an edge linebacker hybrid type, type of guy. Linebacker didn't work out, it didn't work out for him, but now he's just a pass rushing dude. Something that's interesting, they got a guy, Mac Wilson, that just kind of hang around in the middle. He gets blitzed a bunch, pressure and sacks also. So they got a bunch of guys up front that can make it weird for you. I didn't see them stunt a whole bunch. No. They rush forward and just kind of run it like that. I think the Cowboys will be fine. It just depends on the kind of day Terrence Steele's going to be having.
Yeah, they really want to just rush forward if they can. That's their idea. That's the best way for you to play. Like I say, you're going to get Voch was talking about, you're going to get like around 22% man. The rest of it's going to be zone. Yeah. Tight window throws are right around 20%. I mean, this secondary, they've allowed 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They've knocked down 35 passes. This secondary has got some guys. When I say, and we've talked about Will Johnson a bunch out of Michigan, the rookie corner. There was some thought about him. If we all remember, go back to our draft shows here on DallasCowboys.com. He was always the guy. What does he run? What does he run? How fast? We all had questions. They never, ever, ever got a time on him. And, Dallas, he was a guy that the Cowboys were kind of talking about that, maybe that's this Will Johnson. Will Johnson's playing well for the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. He is a quality corner here. Mac Melton plays on the other side. I kind of feel like, though, this is a group that maybe, like I say, you have to be a little bit careful. It's a little bit more difficult to find the guy on this group that you would attack. I think that you mentioned, I don't know if you talked about Jalen Thompson. Yeah. He's played some of the nickel. He lines up at safety. Budda Baker's back there. They've got some guys that Budda Baker's kind of a turnover guy. You got to be alert about running him. He's a punch the ball loose guy. He's a rip the ball guy. He's an interception guy if you overthrow stuff. But they're going to play, like I said, they're going to play a lot of cover 4. They're going to try and keep things in front of them and then rally and tackle that way.
Johnson is a guy, Brian, but I don't think of him as like a Pat Surtain guy. No. He ain't one of them dudes. J.C. Horn type of guy. But he is playing well. He's playing well per what we kind of thought of him or whatnot. But, when we come in here, Brian, and we break down Cowboys offense on Thursdays, it's a much different vibe than how I talk on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, I'd be happy to get anything, Brian. But, yeah, they got Will Johnson, but we got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So they want to decide to run some cover 4 against Lamb and George Pickens to try to take the deep ball away. And to their credit, they don't give up a bunch of deep passes.
They don't.
But we'll throw it intermediate and go be yak guys. We've learned Pickens is a yak guy. Pittsburgh just didn't use him in that way. Well, the Cowboys will, and CeeDee Lamb is notorious as a yak guy. I wouldn't even hate if Turpin got involved crossing the field. Yep. When you were mentioning pockets earlier, there's this term that we call clearing. Once you clear the linebacker, there's a pocket. But if you keep running, there's another linebacker there. Yeah. But if you clear that linebacker, there's another pocket in between those pockets, slants, crossers, things of that nature. Spot routes sitting down in those zones. I think you'll definitely be able to whoop up on Arizona.
That's the other thing to think about too when you're playing cover 4. That means you got 4 guys deep, which means you only got 3 underneath most times, which means there's more room for you to operate within those. And those 3 that are underneath typically are not your greatest cover guys. They're typically linebacker types. So you do have a little bit more room to work with underneath. And if you can get those guys, like as you said, those crossing routes where you get them on the run, now they have an opportunity to really make something after the catch and get something with it. Real quick, I did want to, you said it's a longer conversation we got to have about Terrence Steele. Let's have that conversation. At this point, where are you with Terrence Steele? Do you feel like it's at a point where this is holding you back so much where you got to make a move, or do you feel like, hey, man, we just know what we know of him. He's going to have some ups and downs. They're going to be some, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like I beat up.
You know what it reminds me of, Brian? You'll remember this. Doug Free. Like I don't think Doug Free was a horrible right tackle.
No.
But he was an easy target. Like, he was going to have some moments in every game where you're like, that wasn't great. Yeah. But he wasn't a horrible tackle.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing here with Terrence Steele, or is it one of the situations where, no, he's pretty bad and they're going to have to find something?
I just feel like that Nate Thomas is a better player overall. I just feel like that when you start to talk about when you look at the pass protection, you look at the run block and stuff, and Steele has had his moments where he's worked well with Booker and they've been able to get movement and stuff like that. I just kind of feel like, though, if you just had that edge just a little bit stronger, if you put two big guys and all of a sudden you got Booker over there, you got Thomas over there, and then you got, say, Span Ford standing over there, that's just a different look that teams have to deal with. I know, I guess I'm in that mode where I know what Steele is. I'm really interested to see what Nate Thomas is. That's where I'm at right now with that.
You know what, Brian, what it is we get paid the big bucks to hyper focus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We not just washing lettuce, Brian Broaddus. You know what I'm saying? We on the fries. You know what I mean? We zero in on every single thing that's going on here. If we were some national media show, we probably wouldn't even talk about Terrence Steele. In real life, how offensive line is in the league, not a whole bunch of people got offensive linemen that they could be proud of. It's just that
definitely 5 of them.
5 of them. Yeah. It's just that when we come on this show, we have to talk about something and we have to hyper focus on the guys that you know that are out there. Terrence Steele, he ain't playing perfect. But you know, we are just coming off games where like Connerly is like giving up sacks to Cowboys pass rush. That never happens. Every single week we're breaking down some new guy, some right tackle that isn't all that good. This week Jonah Williams out there at right tackle. I would rather have Terrence Steele than Jonah Williams for sure. But I do think if we're breaking down the types of guys that Terrence kind of has issues with, like these power guys that'll just kind of run right through him, Arizona got some guys. So if I had to, if this was a show where we could just give hot takes, quick takes, oh, Cowboys go out there, beat the hell out of Arizona Cardinals, all right, that's it, and that's a 3-minute show. But just if we could find any little advantage for the Cardinals, I would say if they're looking for somebody, they're not gonna look to win versus Tyler Smith or Booker, or if BB comes back, they're not gonna bull rush those guys. But if I'm Arizona, if I'm looking for an advantage, I would look for Terrence Steele more. I think in the run game, Terrence Steele ain't all that horrible. Terrence Steele does do some things, not perfect as we wanted, but Terrence Steele's solid in the run game. He gives up whatever. But if we just had to look at something, it'll be Terrence as the one guy that I would look for to whoop him on.
And I think Nate Thomas catches your attention because he's something new. He's something newer, like a shinier product out there. But
I'm hoping better. That's I mean, and
that's
I
the
totally,
hope. I mean, you watch him, and that's the thing. It's already what you've got in Terrence Steele.
Exactly.
But with Nate Thomas, you have that expectation in your head of what he can possibly be. But at the same time, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, as some poets may say. But with him, I'm curious to see him more because of that, of the what do you call it? Just the interest in trying to find out, okay, what does he actually looks like?
Curiosity?
The curiosity. But curiosity killed the cat. I'm full of sayings.
That got though.
But my point is, honestly, it intrigues me more, but at the same time, I truly don't know how much different he would actually be in expecting to give you something I think other teams would attack Nate Thomas as well. He would give up some plays too.
Differently though, because he's strong. So it had to be him.
It will be a different kind of player.
In a different kind of way, but still, it's gonna happen from time to time. I think Terrence Steele, yes, he's not perfect, but also he deserves a lot of credit for what he has been, how long he's been able to stay on the team, actually. And looking back at the way that he started, all the criticism that he got from everybody, including myself, I did not understand why McCarthy took that decision, but he went on with it. And
I don't know why the hell he didn't either.
But he got him
Just
a job.
mention that name.
He stayed here for a while.
But I worry more about Terrence Steele in games where, and it's going to sound weird, but follow me. I worry more about him in games where the defensive tackles are getting pushed in the middle, because Dak can handle the 2 or 3 times a game when Terrence gets beat and somebody gets to him. Dak will get rid of the ball. Dak will be fine. The problem is when, as we've seen in the games where it has been a problem, you've got a lot of pressure coming up the middle. And now Dak can't step up. He can't evade that guy. And now it's just a jailbreak because the defensive tackle is on his inside. The defensive end's coming around the outside. He has nowhere to go. That's what creates the problem. So I think it's more about the matchup. And it's not even just Terrence Steele's matchup. It's what's happening in the middle, I think, that worries me more about what I think is going to be the day that Terrence Steele is going to produce based on what is happening in the middle of the offensive line.
For sure.
right, we're going to take our final break. We will come back. We'll play a little bit of Shining Star, Falling Star. I have some player names I'm going to give you guys, and I want you to tell me if you think they are falling or shining. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
Mississippi.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. When you say Mississippi, that's when I know you're really from Mississippi.
Mississippi, pardon me.
No. When you say Mississippi, that means you're really from Mississippi.
I wonder how much random banter people catch up on, because I don't know when Beam hit the button to go. So
we've been on. We've been on for a minute, so we just.
You should have seen one time when Mickey and I were MFing each other. They got that on camera.
That's live?
It happened.
It wasn't live, but it was like you could read my lips and his lips. I mean, we were going at it.
I was a fan back in that time.
Oh, yeah.
Brian. I thought y'all was like literally boxing in the hallway.
No. Mickey stood up and I stood up, and Rob Phillips tried to get in the middle.
What Mickey do?
No, I give Mickey credit.
By the way,
he stood up.
Fiery now. Don't
he stood up.
Twisted. He started fiery.
I ain't calling him Trav.
Rob and Bill Jones were kind of like, oh, hey, and Mickey was like, you could see that Illinois Chicago guy coming out.
Y'all was gonna squad?
He's Southside Chicago.
I was like, I stood up and he stood up, and like.
What made you stand up? Tell me, what made you stand up? What you say? What did he say to make you?
He stood up first.
Why are we talking about old stuff?
What did you say to make him stand up?
I thought nobody.
What you say to make
hey,
him stand
you
up?
know
What's the drama?
No, but we're talking about you get seen on camera.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking.
By the way, it happens. Like there have been a number of times in our confines where people have had some moments where they bowed up.
Yeah.
And then later it comes to me like, hey man, you realize this happened. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it happens.
I be wanting fights like for the draft show or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like when I was a fan of the draft show, all I saw was Dane and Bryan and KT and all those guys and Dave. I saw them fight each other, right?
Yeah.
So when first time my draft show, I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go. What we doing? Who want to go? And boy, we got some. I am friends with all those guys on the draft. Shouts out to all y'all on the draft. You know, so all my guys that was on this.
Well,
week.
Dave ain't a fighter. Like Dave is pretty chill.
Dave cussed somebody out one time. It wasn't bad cuss.
Dave will fight you with words.
Yeah,
Dave's
he'll do it.
smart.
He'll do it. He'll do
Like
it. He'll do it in a witty way.
Yeah, you're inseparable, or some. He'll use some word, and you're like going
insufferable.
Insufferable. It's inseparable. Insufferable. He'll use some word like that, and you're like. And then you're like, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
And then,
I know it's not good.
And then I'm like, I went to the same damn school as he did. Yeah. And he's like, he used these words, and it just stops you in your tracks. You're just like.
I can't wait for somebody to call me insufferable.
He did. He called me that. He called me that one time. He did.
Damn, boy. Tommy Yarsh, cuss me out on the draft show, man.
Tommy Yarsh.
Tommy will not.
Tommy will not.
I guess you don't know him well enough.
Tommy was drinking at D. Lincoln. Tommy was drinking at D. Lincoln. Tommy,
did he get loose?
Tommy get down. Tommy will fight us something.
All right.
All right.
That's usually how it happens.
Who's our liquor sponsor? Don't say nothing crazy.
Yeah, up or down, go for it. What do you
All
got, man? We're trying to avoid having to talk about these players.
We got 4 minutes.
Shining star, falling star. Here's some names. Kenny Clark.
I think 2 of the last 3 weeks, it's been a little bit of a struggle for him. I think that, to me, I know last year he was hurt. If you watch the tape with the toe and all that, and it wasn't getting it done, I haven't seen Kenny Clark on the ground as much as this. I mean, he's not an on the ground player, and there's been some games where there's some big runs where he is on the ground, and that's where they've been doubling the 3 and just single blocking him at the 1. It hasn't been some of the best moments for him as a player, and I think don't know if he's playing through some stuff. He did that last year, but it's clearly it's not as good as it was earlier in the year.
I'm not looking for a reason to blame Flus, man, but yeah, falling. Clark is not as good now as he was when he first got here. If we watch Green Bay film, he was a guy that moved around. He was in B gap sometimes. He'll line up wide versus tackles. He's getting double teamed all the time now, so maybe he's wearing down a little bit. Who knows? What you reading in the comments?
No, I'm reading my own thoughts.
What you
I'm
say?
like, I don't.
She hates this segment.
I don't like because I
Kenny's
feel
a good
too
dude.
comfortable.
Yeah,
I feel too comfortable in this show that I'm like, okay, I might regret as soon as I walk out the door. I might regret what I say.
Let me tell you what I like
How
about
I
him
say
though.
it.
Kenny Clark.
But it's not against him. It's not against him.
As long as you keeping it a buck, people like, yeah, man, I'm playing like Trey. Kenny.
Oh no, he'll admit it. He'll.
And I actually love this about players like him. When he first got here, from that moment till now, after every single game, whether he plays well or doesn't, whether the team plays well or doesn't, he is there to be accountable. He will give you honest critiques about himself
Absolutely.
and his teammates. And I love that about players. I respect that. And there aren't a lot of, you'd be surprised how few guys there are like that.
They won't talk to you. They'll just leave.
Where after a game where it's good, they're like, hey, everybody want to talk? After a game that's bad, I find
But my thing with him, what I was gonna say, I do think he's still a rising star. But my point is that he came in here fresh, and then all of a sudden he became what his environment was. So. Damn, that was so bad.
No.
And I changed the wording that I had in my head too.
That's hard, right there.
I mean, that was a bar.
That's hard. That's hard.
It was a bar.
That's
hard. I changed the wording in my head.
That's
I tried
hard.
to soften
That's what I
it.
like about Ambar. Like we do super analysis sometimes. We just miss the easy stuff. She say the easy stuff like, "Hey guys, I don't watch film," but but she say the coldest stuff.
She say the stuff that makes the most sense too. Like
that's hard.
Maybe
let me read the comments on that one.
Maybe this is a result of the environment.
The environment.
When you say the
diamonds and doo doo.
When you say the environment, I want to be clear. Are you saying, because I don't think it's a culture thing.
No, no culture.
You're talking more because the players that are around him, he finds himself in a situation where there's so much going wrong that it's hard for anybody to look good in this situation.
Yes, and this was not a shot towards the players around him. This is more of the scheme and what's going on, and it all leads back to the voice.
The voice. Like in the chat right now.
The one that shall not be named.
Big Amish says, "How can everybody on the defense be bad? Like everybody on the defense is bad."
That's always
Shouts out to Big
my
Amish.
worry. Yeah. It's hard to say that. And by the way, some of them have been good players in their career, but all of a sudden, everybody's bad.
We could be like back in the day, right? The defense was solid, but cornerback number 2 would be bad.
Right.
So just fix cornerback 2. Everybody's looking weird. We can't get no pass rush. We can't tackle. We can't die. Nothing.
Right.
Please. That's a bar there, Amber. Good on you.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That's
all right. Next one, Donovan Ezeraku.
Oh man, he through the roof. He just got to finish. What that mean?
He said hook him.
He's doing his fraternity sign.
If Atomic Dog come on, you as a
did I say that right?
Professional man, do you hop around with him?
Depends. Yes, I do, but I'm not gonna do it on air because we can't play that on air because we don't have rights to the song. But yes,
It's like
if I'm at a place, hey man,
it ain't.
No,
It ain't
but
that.
hold on.
If you hear it from out there,
I'm stepping back.
You get up and
No, I was.
Yeah.
It's something about it. Like it's just
you gotta
you zoom, 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 and then you just it's just
you gotta
you gotta give it to him.
My grades wasn't good enough to complete.
Listen, we don't have that stuff in Dominican Republic. We don't have that. We don't have fraternities or what do they call for the
sororities?
Sororities.
My grades
As we see here.
my grades weren't good enough to complete, but
At training camp, there was a kid, a young man.
Yeah, bro, back at the top.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. See, making
Donovan
a point.
Ezeraku, yeah.
No, let me tell you. You go off script.
Perry on too. Perry on, go ahead. I believe. I seen him.
I don't think no.
Well, Sounds of Silence showed him doing a little something.
well,
Y'all need to catch him.
Might have a conversation, but no,
I'm snitching. Then go ahead.
I don't think he did. But go ahead.
There was a young man at training camp that came and was introduced to Derek, and he was part of the. What is it? Brotherhood?
Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Okay, the fraternity. The fraternity.
Incorporated.
But Derek whispered something in. I just watched the interaction because I'm very observant. And he whispered something to his ears, and then the kid he looked like in shock. He looked scared. I was like, Derek, what'd you say?
Nothing.
And Derek is like, don't ask. I'm not gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is. I'm like, I'm just a curious gal. You know, I've never experienced it. I've never been around it. I don't know.
They got
not
cold
part of my
words.
culture.
Look,
Yeah.
Look.
So anyway, it's just interesting.
It's a brotherhood.
It's just interesting.
I got to know the
Yeah.
young man. I got to know the young man. That's it. That's
He asked
all
him
it
about his founders, and if he ain't know, he was going to get on.
me.
That's what he did.
That's not what but go ahead.
I know that.
Go on.
I ain't saying nothing about
Donovan.
I'm done. It's
Donovan Ezeraku.
It's 11:47.
Brian's just like, what the hell are y'all talking
It's
about?
11:47. Nah, man, Donovan Ezeraku doing his thing. He's your best. He's your best pass rusher now.
I seen.
Every week you see him doing something. I think this is the week that he kind of breaks out. I would not be Donovan Ezeraku.
Yeah. I'm saying ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said who.
No, I was like,
I could see Jonah Williams.
He said ooh.
I could see Jonah Williams having some problems with him this week. I think you're going to see a couple sacks.
So do you guys feel at this point, based on what you've seen, that Donovan may be the guy that they thought he was going to be?
If you look at his pressures, he's getting close.
Yeah.
He's getting close, but when you give up 7 yards of cushion, the ball comes out fast.
Yeah,
but he's showing some of those pass rush moves that we were seeing in camp. Yes, sir.
Good. That's awesome. Because I think right now, that was what, for me at least, when they made the Micah trade, I was like, now it becomes even more critical that Ezeraku turns into a player for them, particularly a pass rusher for them. And I know he's a rookie. I get it. But he has to develop. He doesn't necessarily have to be Micah, but he's got to be a guy who is a really, really good pass rusher. One of those guys that we talk about every week where we're like, he ain't he's not Myles Garrett, but he can get after you, And if he can be a dude like that, and I think, and you pick up 2 first-round picks, I think you did something there. And that's why that move for me was all about what can you get out of Ezeraku. All right, appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to wrap this thing up. Amber will be gone, but I've already got a game planned for you guys. A little bit of Yeti time. We'll do that tomorrow. Right. For Voch Lombardi and Bryan Broaddus and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. It's been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!